Michael, can you take the roll?
Ms. Butts,
Here.
Ms. Shakarian,
Here.
Ms. Rodriguez,
Here.
Ms. Rashidi.
Here.
All right. Our first order of business is approval of the minutes of the regular board meeting of April 16th, 2026, and the Joint Finance and Human Resource Committee meeting of April 14th, 2026. If there's no omissions or additions, I move for adoption.
Second.
Ms. Butts,
Yes.
Ms. Shakarian,
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez,
Yes.
and Ms. Rashidi.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. We're now going to move into the board's report. So far, we've eased up into May. I know there's a lot going on at the end of the month, but a couple of the few things. I went to go see the Arab American screening of this movie called Ours. Thank you for inviting me, Trustee Rashid. And it was really cool. If anybody has a chance to see that movie, it's very funny.
Tell me, I missed this.
It's in Arabic. I don't eat all the popcorn, so I'm not going to tell you everything.
I can't understand it.
So, but it's dubbed in English.
Oh.
It was so funny. I laughed the whole time.
And where did you see this?
It was at the county library
Oh,
through the Arab American.
Cleveland Public Library was a sponsor.
Yes, we were.
We really were trying to get it to be at the MLK, but the dates were not working. So it was very thankful, and thank you to the director and Stephanie for still being a sponsor, because it was a way to honor Arab American Heritage Month, which was April. And the movie was, I think there was about 100 people or so that
It was a
attended.
lot. It was
a lot of
nice.
people. And I know Summer attended, I believe.
Summer was there as
So-
well.
It was
It was just very funny, I'm sure. If you have a chance to see it, please do. It's good. I enjoyed it myself. And I don't want to copy everything the directors, but I've been following him around. We did a lot of the board members. We were at the One Cleveland kickoff, which was well done. It was a party at 8:30 in the morning. We'll let the director carry on with that. And then Monday, we went and saw Brian Stevenson. Melanie was there, and the director.
So sad to say.
That was, wow, very
so
powerful. It was
amazing.
really good. It was at Severance Hall. Pretty good. So I don't know if anybody else wants to add.
I saw.
Well,
two-
I can-
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I went to two programs, one at Carnegie West when they had this historian guy, and the whole room was packed with half my neighborhood and people from outside, but also at MLK when we screened a film that's about Stokes, and there were so many people from all other, parts of our county. It's always impressive how they come to whatever we're doing.
And to that point, I'm going to call Kimberly out because she sent an email about a person who she was sitting next to.
Oh, yeah.
Come to the microphone to tell that story
Oh, at that event.
at Brian Stevenson.
Oh, that Brian.
So right before we started, I was sitting next to Miss Vicky, who was coming here from Massillon, Ohio. And she was just telling me how this is kind of like her first time in Cleveland since she was a kid, her first time in like University Circle. And she was just so excited to go to this event with her family. So of course I was telling her about the library and everything. So that's why in the pictures from the night, I'm like looking away and talking to her. But she just seemed so excited to be there and be a part of this. And so I was just letting her know all the different things that we have available in University Circle, what we have downtown, exhibits, and of course the MLK branch. And she just wanted to know all the things that we could do for her and her family. So she just told me she's so excited that she was able to meet me. She said, please stay at MLK so that I get a chance to see you again before you move up. So I'm staying at MLK until I see her again. But she was just so excited that all of us were there. I told her, I was like, here's our director, here's our board of trustees that are here, here are managers and above, because we wanted to support this event. And she was just, again, so happy that we all came together and we're here representing the library. So, yeah, so it was really nice. And literally, this is how I meet people when they come to the branch. So when we talk about things that we're doing and we talk about us being more than just books, this is what people want to see. So I told her to, she's never been up here. So I said, if you come to the library, we'll help you do a tour. If you want to do a tour of University Circle or of downtown. So she's just really excited. So
That's so awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ambassador for that neighborhood.
I do my best.
You know what? There is so much that we do here that it's hard, even for us, to be everywhere. So it's nice that all of us come together and do different things. that are going on.
Well, I just wanted to add for, I attended yesterday the Summer Reading Carnival at South. Oh my God, why am I blanking out?
South
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 Brooklyn
Brooklyn.
branch, and it was packed. Ray is a master of crafts. I'm in awe of like how somebody could have that much talent. Like I thought the last year's carnival games were like immaculate, and then I see this year's carnival games. I'm like, these actually belong in a carnival with how amazing they are. There was games where it was like you took a Nerf gun and you shot down the little ducks that he built. There was like new kind of like magician ones. I met Tammy, or more formally, I got to speak to Tammy from the Fulton branch because she was overseeing the virtual reality section. There was like people doing like carnival tricks. They had got this like huge ball. The kids loved it. It was just like really fun. I got so busy. I jumped in to take over for Shayla because it was so busy. They needed to tend to other things. I was at the prize section, and then I kind of regretted being at the prizes because kids were like so many options. So they were like having a complete blast. And I kind of to your point about how like, and to Kimberly's point about like, we're not just a library of books. Like, although it was around reading, like the children really got to engage in things that they may not ever see outside of the library, or, you know, when's the next time they'll see a carnival that they could participate in that's like accessible for their family. And there was many people who had like their grandkids. So I saw grandparents. So it was really nice. And then another thing that was really, I think, really important, and thank you, Director, myself and Trustee Butts, we went to the Ohio Library Conference dinner. It was really informative. There was a few moments I felt like too much information with the state of our, like the state that Ohio is in, as it pertains to like all the different versions of bills that we're already aware of, thanks to like our team of like always keeping us informed about what's happening with property taxes, but also like what is Ohio Library, what is OLC doing to combat that? So they showed us like their commercial, they showed us all the different things that they're doing to educate the average resident about like what would happen if we eliminated property taxes. And I think I walked away with a ton of information that I've used ever since. And it's helped me be a better advocate on behalf of the library to like be as informed as possible, because in a world where there's so much information, some people may lose sight of like what's actually not disinformation or misinformation. So I was really glad that I went, and then they gave us an abundance of resources to use after.
Yeah, so we'll be bringing a resolution that today to support, making sure that the Cleveland Public Library is, supportive of this anti-tax agenda that we're going to be working through. So we'll have a resolution opposing the elimination of all property taxes at the end here, and showing that in libraries across the state are all passing these similarly to try to make sure that our state folks understand this is something that we strongly are against. So.
Well, thank you. Next thing, we're going to move into the director's report. Director?
Yeah, I would want to do a couple of things and call people out.
Oh, yeah.
So, Gabby, right? Stand up and be called out.
Hi, Gabby.
Gabby's an MLIS student that is shadowing at the library. So I just found out she was here. So I said, I'm going to call you out. So, been called out. So where are you going to school at Kent?
I'm at Kent State right now. I work at the Waco Public Library, but right now I am a student at Kent State. I will graduate in August with my MLIS. Super excited. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you guys for having me. As scary as this is, I'm happy to be here. Thank you for being here.
All righty. And then I'm going to call on Mrs. Parks to introduce any new branch managers that might be in the room.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good
afternoon.
We have just one branch manager here today, and that is Anna Former. Please stand up. And she is our newest branch manager at our Garden Valley campus.
All right, very good.
Congratulations.
So I could have called you out, but I was going, I was personnel, yeah. All right. And then, where's Melanie? Melanie, your story starts here.
So actually, you've already heard from Kimberly, and I am just going to pass it over to Kimberly to introduce our guest. Our guest is Tiffany Alexander, the lady who's sunshine yellow here, and she has just a really cool project that she started at MLK. So come on.
You guys are over here matching.
You're
coordinated. I love
it. So Tiffany came to the branch one day just to do work from home type thing, and we've been seeing her ever since. So we started a planting program when we first opened. We worked with our now seniors at John Hay to bring herbs and vegetables and things using our seed library seeds to do this. And so we were a little negligent of it. And so Tiffany came, I actually saw that we needed some help with our tomatoes. And ever since then, she has been helping us try and get this program off the ground. So if you want to just tell a little bit about your story and everything that you have helped us with so far.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Thank you
Good
for
afternoon.
having me today. As Kimberly said, I live in the neighborhood of the MLK Library. I actually watched it go up. I saw the first stones go down, and I was there for the opening. So for years, I was waiting for this big library to open up down the street from my house. And then it finally did. And I've been there almost every day. I'm there weekly at least. And one day I was in there working. I'm a writer. And I saw vegetable plants in the windows that let's just say needed a little love. And I saw them and I started walking around asking librarians, like, why are there cucumbers over there? And there are tomatoes over there, and there's some oregano over there, but they kind of need a little help. So I just started coming in every day and watering them, and I would bring like fertilizer in from home and I'd sprinkle it in, like just kind of became the librarian, guardian, counselor, whatever. just like playing in the dirt, making sure like it was doing what it was supposed to do, and wound up talking to Kimberly about why they're there. First of all, why is there a cucumber plant inside of the library, and if it's going to be here, shouldn't we be using it to grow cucumbers and maybe feed the community? Maybe I then learned that students had started planting the plants, and summer came and students do in the summertime, et cetera. So we devised a few programs that we want to kind of start doing at MLK. One with these teens who planted them in the spring last year, right? They're, what's the school? John Hay. They're about to get out of school. So what we're hoping to do this year is for me to sit down with them and tell them what happens after you put the seed in the soil. Like you can't just leave it there. You got to do some stuff along the way. So we're going to do that and work on teaching them just backyard to table, tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, things like that. There is a senior living community next door. So we're going to talk to them a little bit about houseplants, keeping the air in your apartment fresh, natural pest deterrents with mint. I have I love gardening, in case that wasn't clear. At my home, I keep a little tea garden where I'll grow some chamomile and some lavender and some sage and some mint. And then at night, when I kind of want to unwind, I can just go pick a couple leaves, make a cup of tea. So it doesn't require like big farmland. It doesn't require a big backyard. You can do all this in your kitchen windowsill. So we're going to do maybe a little bit of that with the folks who are next door. And then for the little kids, we're going to grow things that grow quickly because the attention span with the preschoolers, maybe some radishes, some peas, things that pop up almost as soon as you put them in the ground so they can kind of get an idea how food is grown, and then also maybe get them interested in eating vegetables and growing vegetables. If you do that at 3, at 30, it's not the first time they've had celery, so. So that's kind of the plan.
Cleveland's Michelle Obama.
I'm happy to be Michelle Obama. Can I get that on a business card? Yes. Thank you. Love that. So that's what I'm working with Kimberly and the other librarians at MLK. Happy to answer any questions or whatever.
So these are plans for over the summer too, that
Over
you've
the summer,
created?
yes.
Wonderful.
So that means you
exciting.
can never leave us. You have to always come
Well,
back.
I mean,
That's what I was telling you.
She, she did say that, yeah. In the car ride over, Kimberly did say I had to stay forever. I literally live down the street, so it's a labor of love. I love the library. I love the staff there. I love gardening. It all just kind of worked out.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Kimberly. And with 30 seconds on NEA, Tiffany is going to give you an overview of the Big Read program that we did and you know, the exhibit that's down there currently.
Yes, so as I'm sure you all know, Cuyahoga, most of the library systems in Cuyahoga County participated in a Big Read. We all read Bite by Bite by Amy Nizuka Matatil, which is a book about food and community. And we could have done one book club or two book clubs and sort of done our jobs, but this library does everything more and bigger than that. And so we ended up working with a couple of 5 artists who have exhibits in Brett Hall, looking at kitchen vignettes and stories of what you do around the table together. A 5th artist in the International Languages Gallery. We also have a whole show of recipe menus from restaurants in Cleveland that have closed in the special collections from our collection. And then we were the host of a guided tasting with the author here the day before she talked at the City Club. So our library got to do a lot of fun things, bring people together. We had a couple community meals. We hosted some dance. We hosted some artists. And hopefully we get to bring all these art forms together again in the future. Questions?
Thank you.
Maybe 45 seconds.
That was good. Very good. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Director. At this time, there's no communications at this time. We're going to move into the Finance Committee report. Trustee Corrigan is unavailable. Trustee Reggie will be filling.
Okay,
Please.
thank you. We are at,
Excuse me, motion to temporarily suspend.
Please. Yes. Oh, yes, I'm so sorry. We didn't, due to us not having a joint finance and human resource committee meeting on Tuesday, I motion to temporarily suspend the regulations. Second.
Second.
Ms. Butts?
Yes.
Mr. Carey?
my mind is like.
Ms. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Ms. Rashid?
Yes.
And Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Thank you, Michael, for keeping me together.
Thank you, Trustee Rodriguez. So we are at Exhibit 1, resolution to accept gifts for the month of April. Whereas the board receives gifts of monies, library service materials, technology resources, and miscellaneous non-monetary gifts from generous citizens from time to time. And be it resolved that the gifts described in the gift report for April of 2026 be accepted upon the conditions connected with said gifts in accordance with Section 3375.40K of the Ohio Revised Code. So moved. Second.
Ms. Butts?
Yes.
Mr. Carey?
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Ms. Rashid?
Yes.
And Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Exhibit 2 is a resolution to accept funding from the Cleveland Public Library Foundation. Whereas the Cleveland Public Library Foundation raises funds and seeks grants from organizations and donors in order to be able to provide financial support to the Cleveland Public Library. And whereas the Cleveland Public Library Foundation has secured a grant through the 2026 Cleveland Foundation Summer Intern Program, which will cover the salary and employment expenses the library will incur for the full-time employment of a Cleveland Foundation summer intern over an 11-week period during the summer of 2026. Now therefore be it resolved that the Cleveland Public Library Board of Trustees, pursuant to authorities set forth in RC 3375.40K, hereby accepts grant funds totaling $8,400 to be deposited into the Founders Fund 203046-46100-11120, restricted gifts, and expresses its gratitude to the Cleveland Public Library Foundation and the Cleveland Foundation for their generous support of the Cleveland Public Library. So moved.
Second.
Ms. Butts?
Yes.
Mr. Carey?
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Ms. Rashid?
Yes.
And Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Okay. We have Exhibit 3, which is a resolution to accept a grant from the Best Buy Foundation. Whereas on September 21st, 2017, the Board of Library Trustees accepted a grant from Best Buy to establish the Best Buy Teen Tech Center at the Rockport branch. And therefore,
And be it resolved that the Cleveland Public Library Board of Trustees, pursuant to the authority set forth in RC 3375.40K, hereby accepts a final grant from the Best Buy Foundation in the amount of $135,000 to be deposited into the 257 Tech Centers Fund account 257046-46100 restricted gifts. And be it further resolved that the executive director, CEO, or his designee is hereby authorized to enter into and execute such agreements and instruments as approved by the library's chief legal officer, including those in excess of $79,568 as it may be necessary or appropriate to effectuate the terms and conditions of the grant and this resolution. So
Do we have anyone from the report to speak on this or?
Sure.
Is it our last one?
We have Luigi, who
Luigi's
can
here.
speak on that.
It's been so many years.
Yes, please.
It's been so many years that we've had this funding and they do such good work with it. So thank you.
Yes, it does use the word final grant, but that doesn't mean it's not hopefully not the last.
So what am I answering on? What is exactly needed
Is-
from me?
is
Why
it the
is it our
last?
final?
Yeah.
Why?
Was that you?
Yeah, well, we can speak to that, right? Because go
Basically,
ahead.
they're location based. That's what they're doing pretty much throughout the entire country. So about 50% of the tech centers were cut, and they just focused on certain locations. So like Minneapolis and Los Angeles. So Ohio did not make the cut. So that's why they just gave that one final grant, and that was to all the places that they cut.
And if I could just add a little bit, so they have given support for the organization for almost 10 years. And we've been so grateful, and we've done great work and helped a lot of children and got a lot of workforce experience. But this will be the final grant. So the money that you're looking at today gives us the opportunity to use it as best we can for sustainability. And then my department will be working to get more money in our digital landscape for the work of Rockport and all of our digital centers.
Great.
Is there a possibility that we could pass, in the future, go back and reapply?
Well, we always try to stay upon, be aware of RFPs that any funder puts out that aligns with our strategic priorities. So if there is an opportunity, we'll definitely be on it.
Yeah. So we were the only Best Buy
In Ohio.
texting teen center in a while. So and to have them support us for 10 years,
That was
right?
amazing.
It was wonderful. So, but they've had to take a step back on how much they could fund.
Mhm.
But great work leveraging
Yeah,
that, Luigi.
thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Thank
you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And the second,
Second.
Ms. Bunce,
Yes.
Ms. Shakarian,
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Ms. Rashid.
Yes.
And Mr. Parker.
Yes.
And we have Exhibit 4, Resolution Establishing Project Budget and Approving Guaranteed Maximum Price Amendment with R.L. Hill Management, Inc. for the Fleet Branch. Whereas on September 18th, 2025, the Board of Library Trustees approved the selection of R.L. Hill Management, Inc., R.L. Hill, as construction manager at risk for the renovation and expansion of the library's Fleet Branch, and authorized the library to contract with R.L. Hill and to authorize pre-construction services for a total fee not to exceed $67,106. The library and R.L. Hill executed the master agreement on September 22nd, 2025. And be it resolved that the Board of Library Trustees authorizes the Executive Director, CEO, or his designee to accept the guaranteed maximum price proposal and enter into and execute an amendment to the agreement between the Cleveland Public Library and R.L. Hill Management, Inc., approving the subcontract package and establishing the guaranteed maximum price for the Fleet Branch in the amount up to $6,789,399, which shall be charged to the Building and Repair Fund 401, Project Code 10740, and which shall be subject to the approval of the library's chief legal officer, and be it further resolved that the executive director, CEO, or his designee is authorized to establish an owner's contingency fund for the Fleet Branch project in the amount set forth in Exhibit A to this resolution, and to make expenditures and enter into contracts in excess of $79,568 to pay the cost resulting from the changes and additions to the project which may be made in the future by the library and which are not included in the GMP. The library shall report monthly to the board on expenditures from the owner's contingency fund, and be it further resolved that the board of the library trustees approves the total project budget for the Fleet Branch project as set forth in Exhibit A to this resolution, which expenditures shall be charged to the Building and Repair Fund 401, Project Code 10740, and authorizes the Executive Director, CEO, or his designee to move forward in taking the steps necessary to complete the Fleet Branch project and execute such instruments or documents as may be necessary or appropriate to effectuate the terms of this resolution, including those in excess of $79,568 and which are payable from the project budget established herein, and be it further resolved that the Board of Library Trustees authorizes the Chief Operating Officer to reallocate the budgeted amount set forth in Exhibit A for the owner's contingency fund, furnishers, fixtures, and equipment, and owner direct costs as needed, provided that such reallocations do not increase the overall project budget. So moved.
John, I'm just curious because HVAC is such a large share of this compared to other FMP projects. Tell us more why.
It is, and it's one of the, you'll note in the verbiage in the resolution, we're actively working on some value management because the prices did come higher than we anticipated. Maybe before I should just remind board that this project is offset by a $3 million grant from the Mandel Foundation. So the total cost the library will expend are less to that proportion. The HVAC did come in high. We're disappointed with where that prices came. We're working with our mechanical engineer right now on a limited redesign to change they're called variable air volume units and how they're tied into the larger rooftop control unit. We have some optimism that we're going to squeeze some cost savings out of that, but that has not manifested yet.
No, it helps. Thank you.
And just on a larger point on the value engineering efforts, that is a little unique about this resolution compared to past FMP ones. We're seeking board authority for that total project budget of $8.4 million, but we are still actively value engineering. I have some confidence that costs are going to reduce. So I would say this is essentially a worst case budget for the library, and we're working to reduce it.
Yeah. I mean, so much is unknown with where tariffs and gas prices and how it's going to affect some of these construction costs.
So there's that macro impact, and then because we were doing a little kind of after action analysis, because our bidding, our estimates at schematic and design development had been right on budget and consistent between the architect and the construction manager. So when the actual bids came in high, we were trying to figure out why. So there's that macro of war, tariffs, et cetera. There's also a local we've been talking about the grain construction workforce for years. It seems like we're finally hitting that cliff at the same time that Brown Stadium and the Cuyahoga County Jail are going on, two multi-billion-dollar projects. So labor is very much at a premium right now in the construction industry, and I think maybe our bidding was ill-timed in that regard.
Understood.
Not that we really could have controlled it.
No, understood.
But,
So you're saying that the 3 million from Mandel is subtracted from the 8 million total?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said.
Second?
So noted. Ms. Bunce?
Yes.
Thank you.
Ms. Shakarian?
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Yes.
And Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Okay, so we have Exhibit 5, resolution selecting and ranking most qualified architect firms and authorizing negotiation of agreements with top-ranked firms for Phase 2 projects of the facilities master plan. Whereas the Cleveland Public Library placed ads in the Plain Dealer on February 17 and February 24, 2026, announcing its request for statements of qualifications from architectural engineering firms for the implementation of Phase 2 of the facilities master plan FMP. And be it resolved that the Board of Library Trustees hereby accepts the recommendation of the selection committee and announces the selection and ranking of the architectural engineering firms as set forth in Exhibit A. And be it further resolved that the board authorizes the executive director, CEO, or his designees to enter into negotiations for an agreement for each of the 5 projects with the most qualified architectural firm in accordance with the requirements of the Ohio Revised Code Section 153.69, which provides, among other things, that if the library fails to negotiate an agreement with the highest ranked firm for a price that is fair and reasonable, it shall terminate negotiations with the highest ranked firm and enter into negotiations with the architectural firm ranked the second highest. This process shall be repeated again with the third ranked firm in the event negotiations fail with the second highest firm, and be it further resolved that upon completion of negotiations, the executive director shall submit the agreements to this board for final approval. So moved. And I apologize because we read a little bit more simplified, but the top firms, I guess, John, are the ones that are listed in here, right?
In the table that's
On the exhibit.
that's shown as Exhibit A. And that will show you that 3-firm ranking for each one of the individual projects.
It's so exciting to look to the new phase.
So exciting to see each 31.
It is. It's been a while since we've selected multiple design partners at the same resolution as we did back in Group 1. A couple things I'd like to point out on the first page. So we received qualifications from 15 AE firms, which is unprecedented for the library. Wow. And if I do say so myself, I think it's a reflection on the design community in Cleveland, Northeast Ohio, seeing the library as a valuable client and meaningful projects to work on.
Have we used HBM or IKM before?
IKM, we have not used on a library project. They've designed the ongoing public restroom renovations and new construction that's going on in the Stokes Wing.
Yeah.
And we like their work there. They are not a firm that has a large book of library business, so we're kind of giving them an opportunity. We're joined by one of our potential partners today, Rob Donaldson of Moody Nolan Architecture. They were the architects on the Huff project and on the Eastman project. They're a Columbus-based with a Cleveland studio that Rob and his team lead. And they've been a great partner with us in the past, and we've got them recommended on the East 131 branch and on the Addison branch.
So cool. That's great.
Thank you. I'm excited. Thank you for joining us today.
Ms. Bunce?
Yes.
Ms. Shakarian?
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Ms. Rashid?
Yes.
And Mr. Parker?
Yes.
We are at Exhibit 6, resolution to authorize agreement and establish budget for build-out of space for Cleveland Public Library Center for Media. Whereas on December 18th, 2025, the Board of Library Trustees authorized the library to enter in an agreement with One Playhouse Square Investors, Ltd. for the lease of space to house the Cleveland Public Library Center for Media, and under which lease the library would be responsible for a portion of the build-out of the space. And be it resolved that the Board of Library Trustees hereby waives all defects and irregularities in the bids received other than those defects and irregularities that may affect the amount or price of the bids, and be it further resolved that the Board of the Library Trustees hereby adopts the determination of the library administration that the bid submitted by R.L. Hill Management is the lowest responsible bid from among the 4 bids received, and authorizes the executive director, CEO, or his designee to enter into an agreement with R.L. Hill Management, subject to the approval of the chief legal officer for the project, for the amount not to exceed $539,950, which expenditures shall be charged to the CPL Center for Media Fund account 2354-1505-55300, construction improvements, and be it further resolved that the executive director, CEO, or his designee is authorized to establish a project contingency fund for the project in the amount of $54,000, representing approximately 10% of the contract amount, and to make expenditures, including those in excess of $79,568, to pay the costs resulting from changes and additions to the project which may be made in the future by the library, and be it further resolved that the Board of Library Trustees approves the total project budget as set forth in Exhibit A to this resolution, which expenditures shall be charged to the CPL Center for Media Fund 235, and authorizes the Chief Operations Officer to reallocate the budget amounts set forth in Exhibit A amongst the other budget line items, provided such reallocations do not increase the overall project budget. And be it further resolved that the Board of Library Trustees authorizes the Executive Director, CEO, or his designee to move forward in taking the steps necessary to complete the project and to execute such instruments or documents as may be necessary or appropriate to effectuate the terms of this resolution, including those in excess of $79,568, and which are payable from the project budget establishing herein. So moved.
In terms of the furniture, fixtures, and equipment, I mean, this is like different than shelves for books.
It is.
So is that all contemplated in this 129,000 portion?
No, there's one significant piece of equipment that we'll bring to board separately.
Okay.
Michael could speak to that.
Yeah.
Actually, there are two pieces. So there's the digitization machine, which we intend to purchase from Laser Graphics, and there's a film cleaning machine. There are other, we need equipment, but those are the two principal.
Those are more programmatic than this,
Correct.
structural build out.
So structural,
Okay.
right, exactly. So we decided to, because we don't know exactly what we're gonna get, and we don't know the exact price. We
I see.
thought that we would come back with that at a future time.
Okay, very good. That makes sense. Mhm.
It's nice to see this coming along.
Yeah,
I know.
very exciting.
Just like to note two other things. One is that there is work being performed by the landlord on our behalf as we enter into the lease. This is kind of the specific custom work that the library requires for the unique nature of the work we'll be doing in this space. So most of our construction costs are in the HVAC. And then separately, I just calculated when I was sitting here, $50 between the low bid and the second low bid on over $500,000 worth of work. It's 0.09% of the project cost. I think it's the second time in my career that I've seen bids come in that low on a project of this scale, and also within 1% of the estimate that the library and our architect had established for the project. So a great bidding result for the library.
Yeah, interesting.
Thank you.
And the second,
Second.
Ms. Butt,
Yes.
Ms. Shakarian.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Rashid.
Yes.
And Mr. Parker.
Yes.
We have Exhibit 7, Year 2027 Tax Budget. Whereas Ohio Revised Code, Section 5705.28 requires the Board of Library Trustees to submit its tax budget for fiscal year 2027 to the Board of the Cleveland Metropolitan School District on or before June 1st, 2026, and be it resolved that the year 2027 tax budget and alternate tax budget information forms for Cleveland Public Library be presented to the Board of the Cleveland Metropolitan School District, and that the Cuyahoga County Budget Commission, as required by the Ohio Revised Code. So
What day are we presenting this to them?
So the board work session is on June 9th,
Okay.
and then the board meeting is on June 23rd.
thank you.
Thank you.
And the second,
Second.
Ms. Butt,
Yes.
Ms. Shakarian.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Rashid.
Yes.
And Mr. Parker.
Yes.
And we have Exhibit 8, Fifth Amendment to the Year 2026 Appropriation. Whereas Ohio Revised Code, Section 5705.40 provides for the amendment of an appropriation measure when necessary, and be it resolved that the sums indicated in the attached Fifth Amendment to the Year 2026 Appropriation Schedule be approved. So moved.
Second.
Ms. Butt,
Yes.
Ms. Shakarian.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Rashid.
Yes.
And Mr. Parker.
Yes.
And the remainder of the finance report, which can also be available which is also available online on our website to the public, is report A, B, C, D, and E. And that concludes the finance report.
Thank you so much. We're now going to move into the Human Resource Committee report. Trustee Shakarian.
Thank you very much, President Rodriguez. I present the regular employment report, Exhibit 9, detailing new hires, resignations, retirements, transfers, promotions, and our merit increases. So moved.
Second.
Ms. Butt,
Yes.
Ms. Shakarian.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Rashid.
Yes.
And Mr. Parker.
Yes.
And I present Exhibit 10, resolution authorizing wage increases for pages and substitutes. Whereas the non-bargaining unit pay structure and revised Section 351 of the Human Resources Manual that this board adopted on July 6, 2021, do not provide for annual wage increases for pages and substitutes. And whereas pages and substitutes play a vital role within the Cleveland Public Library, and in recognition of their hard work, the library administration would like to extend wage increases of 3% to all pages and substitutes, including pages within the page 1, 2, and part-time regular classifications who have 1 year of service or more as of the date of this resolution, who have no discipline between January 1st to December 31st, 2025, effective the beginning of the pay period that includes June 1st, 2026. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Executive Director, CEO, the Chief Financial Officer, and the Chief Talent Officer are authorized to implement the wage increases as set forth in this resolution. May I have a second?
Second?
Yes.
Ms. Butts?
Yes.
Ms. Shakarian?
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Ms. Rashid?
Yes.
And Mr. Parker?
Yes.
And I'm pleased to present to this board Exhibit 11. We have retirement recognition citation. Oh,
Wow.
look at this. And I want to highlight before I read the full resolution. Peter Elwell retired from the Cleveland Public Library on May 8th, 2026. We have a lovely photo there of our director presenting him with a certificate. He has closed out more than 35 years of steady and meaningful service to the Cleveland Public Library and the citizens of our community. He began his career in September of 1990 as a page in the shelf division before moving into the general reference department as a clerk from 1994 to 2003. Peter was then promoted to library assistant in the social sciences department, where he spent the remainder of his career and was later promoted to librarian in 2023. Since 2010, Pete played an important role in helping oversee the Sports Research Center in Social Sciences, assisting countless patrons searching for Cleveland sports history. That's kind of a depressing job, but and information over the years. Thank you to Pete for his many years of dedication to the library and to the community, and best wishes to him in retirement. And the citation that I would appreciate a vote on has been issued for the following staff member on the occasion of their retirement: Peter Elwell, Subject Department Librarian, Social Sciences. Be it resolved that the citation for the above staff member presented by the Board of Trustees in appreciation of their faithful and dedicated service given to the library be recorded in the minutes of this meeting, and be it further resolved that the citation be sent to them forthwith if they are not present at this meeting of the Board of Trustees. So moved.
Second.
Ms. Butts?
Yes.
Ms. Shakarian?
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Ms. Rashid?
Yes.
And Mr. Parker?
Yes.
And that concludes the Human Resources Committee report. Thank you.
Thank you. We are now moving into the Community Service Committee report. Trustee Fryer isn't here. Trustee Parker,
Sure.
can you please?
Sure, President.
Thank you.
Madam President. The monthly activity report is report F. And I may say the graphics are just amazing.
And Nancy said, you could say that again.
We've come a long way over the years. These are great. And also like, because it includes the survey results from the One Cleveland Kickoff Breakfast, which was amazing. We will now have, so that everyone can look at that, strategic plan scorecard update now. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity to present. I'm presenting this on behalf of many of my colleagues. For the sake of the agenda, I am actually going to more focus on places where there might be yellows or reds. The greens, obviously, we are moving forward with all of those initiatives. And thank you to my colleagues for making sure that those move forward smoothly. So the first yellow that you'll see is within digital literacy. And the good news is starting this Saturday when we have Content Creator Camp, those surveys will be issued. So this is a joint survey that will not only cover knowledge and confidence, but also some funding requirements as a result of the grant that was secured to support this. Next up, if you can go to the next slide. So here we have the attendees for workforce development related programming. It is yellow because we are still trying to work with partners on a better way to collect data, because they are measuring different things and they are also keeping their data and track of their own data. So we're going to be trying to establish how we want to report data and be able to collect that information. So that is the yellow there. Going to the next slide. For the People's University, so the branch collection development policy, we're 2026 is really going to be about gathering information. So the update is that the reviewing circulation data for usage trends, and then doing an audit to evaluate the strengths, the gaps, and determine where there might be outdated materials. And then from a programming standpoint, I'm going to turn it over to the director for
I was just going to say that we're still working on how we're going to provide those numbers, but it becomes more challenging because of, as you saw with Kim earlier, in the sense that that's a classic People's University program in which a community member comes in, they want to join us and they want to do something, and then it blossoms into the fact that now we're doing programs with 0 to 5, with high schoolers, and then with seniors. So, we're figuring out how we put all of that together, but the work of the People's University moves on.
Perfect.
And then in the next slide, the campuses, you've already heard from John Lang on the status of the Waltz construction, and that's what is driving the yellow there. And then on the last slide in the red for the advocacy, that was because we were focused on the PLF, but my colleague is going to give an update on advocacy efforts, and she'll cover more information there. Any questions? No.
Thank you. Excellent. So now we'll go to, do you have anything else for the building status update, or we've covered everything?
A few things, but
No, please. I see something really nice in this folder. Yes.
He almost got out of it. Got out of it.
Oh my gosh.
The fleet project is moving ahead. I know many of the board members have communicated to me that you're by the site from time to time, so you'll have seen the vertical construction happening. The podium, the reinforced concrete structure that will house both the majority of the library as well as the lower levels of the Karam senior living project is now complete. What did I say?
Fleet. Yeah.
Waltz, sorry, excuse me.
Yeah.
Waltz project. We're talking about Waltz project. We are now working on the shallow foundations for the front of the library, which will be proud of the structure that's currently in place on the Detroit roadside. And our partners at the Karam project are doing likewise. We are hoping to have, we're on schedule to have enclosure of the structure by late fall and still on track for mid-2027 completion. When the foundation for the remaining area of the library that's not framed is in, I think that would be the opportunity time to offer a hard hat tour. So more information to follow. That might come over the summer or at the very, very latest, very early fall. A couple of items for the main campus. We've got a few deferred maintenance projects, which are reflected in the strategic scorecard for main campus. And that is the refresh of the popular section. Downstairs, you'll see in the north reading room, the painting is going on now. The carpet, we've underlaid the electrical routing to be ready for the carpet. The demountable partitions for the former Glenville Housing Court, which will be reused as reservable patron space in the southwest corner of Popular, are now in. So that work will continue over the summer. And we are likewise underway with construction of the new LSW patron restrooms in the indoor reading garden of the first floor, and that will incorporate the universal changing table that you've heard about at past board meetings. We are experiencing our typical Northeast Ohio spring weather, so we are whiplashing between heating and cooling on a day-to-day basis. The air conditioners on Monday, we're back into heating mode the last couple of days. Generally, just one sore point there is the South Brooklyn branch, which we had a refrigerant leak that led to a frozen solenoid valve, so the branch is on spot coolers now. And we're hoping to take advantage of the cool weather to get the AC system back online for the return of the warm weather next week. And then maybe just an update on the board-approved resolution last week about exploring an Asiatown presence, and was able to join the community engagement meeting earlier this month, or maybe it was the very end of April, where the partners of Midtown Cleveland with NRP Group announced the name of the new joint use facility, Mingyu Place. Was very well received by the community, which was thrilled to hear that the library will be expanding its presence across from the Art Box. And we've scheduled a kickoff with the architect to communicate our requirements and incorporate them into the design of the building.
What's the name of the place again?
Mingyu, M-I-N-G-Y-U-E.
M-I-N-G.
Y-U-E.
Y-U-E.
And it's named after an ancient Chinese empress, and also,
oh, nice.
I think moon. There's a moon connotation there too.
And can you tell us the exact address?
Oh, it's, no, it's Payne.
Where the
It's,
Dave's was, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
where
the
Dave's
former Dave's
Supermarket
site.
was on
On
Payne.
the what?
Payne at East 33rd Street.
East 33rd, yeah.
Yeah. So I had a question. Who's in charge of the traffic flow for Walls?
That's been,
I mean, they're doing a great job. I haven't
Yeah.
heard a lot of complaints.
that was all, it was proposed, the logistics plan is from our construction manager, that's Gilbane. It was all run permitted through the city.
They're doing a great job.
So we were really glad that we were able to minimize the closure of West 80th Street, which is now reopened. We'll
Yeah.
have to close it one more time when we do the stormwater detention on the north part of the site. And then for anyone who's driven in the area knows it's one-way traffic, temporary directionals. And that seems to
Seems
have
to be
worked
working.
better. We had a good
Even when
part.
there's a number 26 bus going by, it seems fine.
And we had good coordination with the RTA. They were able to move their stop west on Detroit Road. So it's now, it's out of, they
Yeah,
had
it's
they had
out
a
of that
shelter right
area.
in the middle of the construction area. A lot of the under the road work on Detroit was for the water service to the Carom side of the project. That's complete. The work's being covered up. So I'll get an update, but we're looking forward to restoring two-way traffic on Detroit.
I haven't heard too many negative comments, so I was like, okay, that's awesome.
We were bracing for the worst and it seems to be going okay.
Let me have this.
Yes, oh yeah, sorry. Thank you. Fleet groundbreaking is June 10th. I think it's a Wednesday. Yep. So that'll be on the projects that we're doing it indoors.
I saw Bridget Marquez of Northwest Neighborhoods at a name-changing event for the Young Latino Network, who's now Avanzamos Unidos, and she just couldn't help. We just had the best conversation about how wonderful this relationship is with them and how really happy she is to work and just how wonderful and easy it is to work with you and your team. So they're just so excited. So I think more as work gets done, it's so nice to hear like, okay, we're going to be there sometimes.
Yeah, people anticipate.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. Nothing about that project has felt easy to me.
She was very positive on this, how hard it's been.
But I will say, the partnership with Northwest Neighborhoods has been great.
Yeah, she just couldn't imagine another partner that could deal with a lot of the stuff that's been happening. So,
Yeah.
thank you.
You have to commend Stephanie Jansky on that. She's taken and been the patient one to work through a lot of those issues.
Now we'll have the advocacy task force update and foundation update.
Excuse me, good afternoon, everyone. So as it relates to the advocacy update, and you saw that the scorecard was in red because we were very disappointed that the Public Library Fund transitioned from a percentage of the general revenue fund to a line item. And that caused some decreases, not only across Ohio Public Libraries, but locally for us. So we continue to advocate at the bare minimum to get as much money for Ohio Public Libraries as we can because we do such great work in the community. And so what our focal point now is on the campaign that Director Thomas talked about and the resolution that he talked about educating people about the devastation that the elimination of property tax could have, not only for Ohio Public Libraries, but so many entities. And so we will be hosting some community forums, working with our lobbyists to educate constituents on the devastation. We can't be either way, but we want to educate our patrons about the implications. I also look to do some advocacy training internally with our managers and work with our Marcom department to have some talking points for them if they're asked about this information. But this coalition being led here locally for county libraries with Director Thomas, but from a statewide perspective with the Ohio Library Council.
Because next year is an operating budget, do we have a save the date yet for Ohio Library Day?
Not yet, not to my knowledge yet.
No, they haven't put that out there, but
It'll be an important.
it will be a
important
very
year.
important date for everyone to be a part of. Before you jump off of advocacy, I did not mention during the director's report that we received a resolution of recognition from Councilwoman Nikki Hudson, who wanted to make sure that our staff was recognized. She put forward this to the council and it was passed as a resolution of recognition, whereas the members of Cleveland City Council take great pride and pleasure in recognizing April 21st, 2026 as National Library Workers Day during National Library Week in the city of Cleveland, which was April 19th to 25th. So she put that forward. And the spirit of this year is find your joy. So I just wanted to make sure that that was put forward. And we always appreciate the councilwoman and the other council folks who all voted in favor of the resolution.
That's all I have for advocacy. And then the foundation report. I hope you guys are coming tonight. We have our event, The Power of Words, where Director Thomas will be a featured reader. John Skirdick will be a featured reader. And I have to give thanks to John Skirdick for bringing this opportunity for us. This event had been going on prior, and another local library had been the recipient. And now we have the opportunity to be the recipient of ticket proceeds ongoing. And so the team, Nicole McGee and Abby, they've done a great job of getting the word out. Our board, the foundation board, has been a really, really great resource and benefit to getting the word out. But it's a wonderful event by Regina Brett and a fellow colleague of hers, where people will read their favorite texts. And you can come have food, you can have drinks, and guess what? All of not the food and drinks, but the ticket sales, they do benefit Cleveland Public Library. So I really hope to see you. If you can't purchase a ticket, we're almost sold out. Over 200 people will be there tonight in honor of the library system. Nice. Director, did you want to add anything?
No.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Impact and belonging update.
Good afternoon, members of the board. Director Thomas. The Department of Impact and Belonging continues to drive initiatives that strengthen equitable access, deepen community engagement, and enhance the overall patron experience across all CPL campuses. The following highlights reflect meaningful progress aligned with CPL's strategic priorities and core values. Impact and Belonging is currently in the preliminary planning stages of two very important initiatives designed to further advance equity, access, and community engagement across our library system. The first initiative is in support of our veterans. We are currently exploring, in the initial stages of exploring resources, dedicated space, targeted programming, and enhanced access to services for members of our veteran communities and those connected with military families. The second initiative focuses on strengthening our supports for individuals experiencing homelessness. Discussions are underway to identify strategic partnerships, supportive resources, and community-based engagement opportunities that will help strengthen Cleveland Public Library support for individuals experiencing homelessness across our library systems. Together, these two initiatives reflect our continued commitment to advancing equitable access, responsive community support, and meaningful partnerships that strengthen the library's role as a welcoming and resource-centered institution for all residents. The Cleveland Public Library is very excited to announce support from one of our neighbors and a very important community stakeholder, United Cerebral Palsy. Thanks to the renewed partnership with United Cerebral Palsy of Greater Cleveland, the Department of Impact and Belonging is pleased to announce expanded parking access for Martin Luther King Jr. campus through the generous in-kind support of United Cerebral Palsy. And with appropriate advance notice, CPL has been granted access to 3 UCP parking lots to support special events and community programming at the campus. Special thanks to UCP CEO Beth Lucas for her leadership and partnership in advancing accessibility and community access in such a meaningful way for CPL and the residents we serve. June is Pride Month. I'm pleased to announce that for this year's Pride and CLE Parade, Cleveland Public Library will lead the Northeast Ohio Libraries collaboration, bringing together library systems from across the region to participate in a unified march, celebrating inclusion, belonging, and welcoming public spaces for all. As the coordinating lead, Cleveland Public Library is managing collective registration, cross-system communications, participant logistics, and a unified regional branding effort designed to strengthen visibility, partnership, and civic engagement among Northeast Ohio library systems. Participating library systems include East Cleveland Public Library, Heights Public Library, Westlake Porter Library, Rocky River, and Shaker Heights Public Library. To help launch the day's celebration, Cleveland Public Library will also host its One Cle Party in the Garden, featuring music, live entertainment, family-friendly activities, refreshments, and gaming opportunities for community members to enjoy prior to the parade. Special thanks to Director Felton Thomas for his vision and continue to support, as well as the Rainbow Readers ERG members, volunteers, and the marketing department for the development of this year's regional library t-shirt design. This event will take place on Saturday, June 6th, with the One Clee Party in the Garden beginning at 9 a.m. and the march set to begin at 11 a.m. We invite you all to come and join us to celebrate. Last but definitely not least, a simple reminder to our board members, on-demand interpreting and translation refresher is scheduled to take place on Wednesday, May 27th from 12 to 1 p.m. This workshop will inform staff or refresh staff with how to utilize our on-demand translation services in partnership with the Cleveland Hearing and Speech. Board members are welcome to attend and learn more about how Cleveland Public Library continues to advance inclusive communication practices and equitable access to services for patrons and staff across the system. This concludes this month's report from Impact and Belonging.
What was that date again
Which one?
for the training?
June 26th.
June 26th.
And this is for the refresher. You all will be more than welcome to attend. I know you had asked previously about how that is.
Thank
Pass it around.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. If I could get them separated. Okay, here we go. I think I got it.
And that concludes the Community Service Committee report. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. We have no old business. In the new business, we have a resolution. It's an exhibit. It's a resolution opposing the elimination of all property taxes in Ohio. Whereas Cleveland Public Library provides essential library services to residents living within the service area of the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. And whereas property taxes are a crucial and primary source of funding for these services across Ohio and currently account for 55% of Cleveland Public Library's general fund certified revenue. And be it resolved that the Board of Library Trustees of the Cleveland Public Library hereby opposes any effort to eliminate all property taxes in Ohio, and be it further resolved that the Board of Library Trustees supports responsible property tax reform that addresses affordability concerns while protecting public safety, schools, libraries, and other critical community services. And be it resolved that a copy of this resolution shall be transmitted to the Governor of Ohio, members of the Ohio General Assembly, and other appropriate officials. So moved.
Second.
Ms. Butts?
Yes.
Thank
Ms.
you.
Shakarian?
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Ms. Rashid?
Yes.
And Mr. Parker?
Yes.
At this time, we have received several public comments that came in through emails. Some we were able to respond to because they were active email addresses, and a lot of them we were not able to respond back or to answer any of their questions and or concerns. But at this time, the Cleveland Public Library welcomes public participation during the public comment portion of regular board meetings as indicated in the agenda. Anyone wishing to address the board must be physically present and must register their name and topic on a sign-in sheet, which will be provided at the meetings. Each person addressing the board is limited to 3 minutes, and only the first 5 registered speakers will be permitted to speak at any board meeting. And again, I said we did receive several of them, and we do try to respond to all of them, but some of them, the email addresses were not valid. So, in case
Put the right email in.
put the correct email in so that we can answer your question. A lot of them were very positive about all the hard work that our staff do and things are going on. So I just want that to be put on the record. And then at this time, I move to.
Any public comment?
Do we? Is there somebody here?
Did anyone sign in? Michael? Okay.
Oh, no one has signed in? Okay, thank you.
I have one more trustee question. I guess it's for Shanice. When I see this, it reminds me, do you have, are you planning to give all of us library loyalists and champions a box like this to wear?
No, she's not. No. Okay.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
We'll take that. No, I'm not wearing a box, Alice. Thank you very much. Good try. Yeah. No, nickel box. Okay. At this time, I move to adjourn to executive session to discuss the purchase and sale of real property and to discuss the hiring of a public employee.
Ms. Beckman?
Second.
Ms. Butts?
Yes.
Ms. Shakarian?
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez?
Yes,
Ms. Rashid?
Yes.
And Mr. Carter?
Yes.
thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Michael's right behind me. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, we just got it. Okay, thank you. All right. Michael, you ready?
Ready.
I call the meeting back to.
We need
four.
We
We
need
have-
trustee Beth.
I will call the meeting back to order.
Second.
Ms. Butts?
Yes.
Ms. Shakarian?
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Ms. Rashid? And Mr. Parker?
Yes.
And I call the May 4th meeting adjourned.
I second.
Thank you.